Hey, welcome back Pokemon fans! We've had over 7 generations of Pokemon and over 20 different games. So naturally, there are a lot of different Pokemon sprites out there. And taking a look back at the very first generation of Pokemon sprites, a lot of our favorite Pokemon looked, well, a lot different back then. Today I want to talk about some of the Generation 1 sprites that look just plain weird. But I'm not alone. Today we are joined by my very good friend and fellow Pokefan, Chocolate Kieran.
Hey guys, what's up? I'm Kieran. Today we're going to be picking out the weirdest of the weird Generation 1 Pokemon sprites. Nady and I have sat and looked through every sprite throughout all 4 Gen 1 games. Red and Blue, which are the versions most of us are probably familiar with, Green, which was only released in Japan, and Yellow, which was released worldwide. Don't forget, these are just our opinions and you by no means have to agree. Don't be afraid to play along with us and tell us your top 10 weirdest Pokemon sprites. We'll leave the links in the description to all the sprites so you can play along too.
Alright guys, without any further ado, let's hop into 10 weird looking Generation 1 Pokemon sprites. Vileplume. I love Vileplume. He's always been one of my favorite Generation 1 Pokemon. But it's been so long since I played through Gen 1, I had honestly forgotten what its sprite looked like. And when I saw it again for the first time, I laughed pretty hard. Why in the world does Vileplume have these long, weird spaghetti arms? In comparison to its newest sprite, it's a pretty stark difference. While its legs are pretty much the same, the newer generations were able to give it the definition it needed to show that they are more curved like a foot and not just 2 long noodle legs. The arms though. The arms, man! Why are they so long and weird looking? I think I definitely prefer the newer sprite to Vileplume, because its Generation 1's looks like a literal creepypasta.
Jigglypuff. This thing looks terrifying. Somebody tell me why this thing looks like it wiped out its whole clan. Seriously though, it looks like it's seen some things, man. Some seriously dark things. On the other hand, it also looks like it spent some serious time with Snoop Dogg, if you know what I'm saying. Either way, this thing's eyes are way too big. Not even in a cute way like how its adorable Generation 7 sprite looks, but it looks like it's staring deep into your soul. Honestly, it's even scary that this Pokemon can put you to sleep, because this is honestly the stuff of nightmares.
Farfetch'd. You wanna know what's really creepy? When someone gives you a little side smile and whispers, "How you doing?" Wanna know what's even creepier? When you picture a Pokemon doing it, and its entire face changes with it. What in the heck is going on with his bill here? Why is it curved upwards? Why does he have a faux hawk? Why are there stripes on his wings? What is happening here? When compared to his newest generation sprite, it's even more off-putting. Besides the leak, you can't even tell that these are the same Pokemon. I think Farfetch'd in Generation 1 is probably the weirdest, angriest looking Pokemon so far.
Golbat. Okay, let's be real here. Golbat, even as portrayed in Gen 7, isn't the most badass looking Pokemon, but its Generation 1 sprite in Red and Blue is just way too ridiculous. It looks like it's the long lost 4th member of Ed, Edd and Eddy or something. This thing should look pretty scary due to its sharp fangs, but the way its tongue is stuck out and its derpy look just make it look way too goofy. It's always dribbling too. Does Golbat have an unlimited amount of saliva or something? Well, at least with its current sprite, it's way easier to take Golbat more serious.
Now kids, if a stranger offers you candy, just say no. And if Hypno and Drowsy offer you candy, run the heck away as fast as you can. Why are these two so creepy? Now, albeit, Hypno and Drowsy are already both really creepy Pokemon in their own rights, what with the stealing children away and eating dreams. But good lord, the Generation 1 sprites are just extra creepy. Especially when you compare them to the Gen 7 sprites. Just why? Why, Pokemon? What did these two lovable, creepy rascals do to deserve this? There's just so much wrong here.
Executor. I hope you aren't watching this just before bedtime, because my god this thing is terrifying. Though I guess now with Alolan Executor, this Pokemon has become weird in a whole other way. I guess some Pokemon just can't escape having odd designs, even when they're changed. All 3 of its expressions are not something I'd want to wake up to in the middle of the night to see, heck, any time of day for that matter. I've always said that if Pokemon were real, they'd be amazing, but honestly, I think I'd rather have things the way they are if it meant this thing were real too.
Lickitung. What in the Firo is going on here? This is actually the stuff of nightmares that I wish Creepy Drowsy would come and devour out of my mind forever. Lickitung, what happened to you? Its head is just so disproportionately huge, and it looks like it's in so much pain. Its tongue is wider at the base, and then it shrinks down into this weird, skinny, almost forked-looking thing. It's honestly quite terrifying to look at, and it's only made worse if you compare it to the newer generation sprite. Now, albeit, I'm already not the biggest fan of Lickitung, but at least in the newer generations it's got a certain creepy charm to it. Generation 1 made this poor thing look like something out of Frankenstein's lab.
Moltres. I won't lie, Moltres isn't one of my favourite legendary birds to begin with, but the sprites throughout red, blue and green are so strange. Looking at red and blue especially to now, anybody who doesn't know Pokemon wouldn't even assume they're the same thing. Though you can kind of see how it looks more alike in green. Something about its eyes reminds me of Big Bird from Sesame Street more than the Moltres we all know and love today. I get that it's supposed to resemble a phoenix, but for a legendary Pokemon it just seems so bare. I mean, you got the edgy, electrifying Zapdos, the majestic, icy Articuno, and then a bird on fire. Moltres' Gen 1 sprite just doesn't sit well with me.
Alright, so before we get to the number 2 and 1 spots, let's take a look at some honorable mentions that didn't quite make this list. Alright, number 2 on this list, and my personal number 1 offender is Venusaur. Yes, the fully evolved form of my favorite Pokemon is just awful. Venusaur has always had a bit of a tree on its back, but come on, what is this? Why does Venusaur have an Alolan Executor growing out of its back? Why is the tree reaching these sky-high limits on what looks ridiculous? It looks more like it's been stabbed by the tree than it's a living part of it. It's just awful in ways I can't describe. Especially when you put it next to the newer generation sprite and realize what it's supposed to look like. Well, I guess every family tree has a bad egg in it. And for the Bulbasaur line, it's Venusaur in Generation 1. I'm sorry, Bulba family, I still love you.
Right, so this one really upsets me because I really love Mew. It's always been one of my favourite Pokemon. I mean, look at this cute little pink bubblegum kitten. But what is this? It's so sad. In yellow, Mew is kind of cute, though it's still not my favourite. It's okay in red and blue too. But oh my lord, why is it posed like that in green? It's so creepy looking. Its adorable, happy little appearance we see in the current generations just isn't there in Generation 1. If I worked so hard to get the rare and elusive Mew as a kid, in my copy of Pokemon Green, and I was greeted with this sprite, I just don't even know. All I say is, I'm grateful we got the sprite we did for Mew in the West.
Alright guys, that's it. 10 weird looking Generation 1 Pokemon sprites. What did you think? Did you agree or disagree with any of the ones on our list? Did you make your own? Let us know down below. And hey, if you like this video, you can always click that like button and subscribe to both our channels. All the links to Kieran are going to be down in that description box below. Also, I want to give a special thanks to FurretTurret.com, who made all the amazing HD Pokemon sprites for the Generation 7 games. And another special thanks to Kieran for making this video with me. I can't wait to see you guys over on the next video.